Technocracy is the power of skill or professionalism. This is the quality desired by every executive power, which it wants to achieve regardless of what legislative power prevails, authoritarian or democratic. Because Plato wrote about this trend for the first time, and its implementation for political reasons was difficult, theorists called technocracy a hypothetical power. After this power was clearly demonstrated in Portugal by Antonio Salazar and then in Singapore by Lee Kuan Yew, it became incorrect to talk about its hypotheticalness. Due to the fact that the concept of technocracy is used in different situations and often turns into an undefined concept, it is necessary to determine its types. First type. Technocracy can be authoritarian, proceeding from one person. Here's the situation with Antonio Salazar and Lee Kuan Yew, a typical example of this. But such a technocracy is rather rare, in spite of some hopes of its repetition. Rarely authoritarian regime shows love for its people, even less often it is a carrier of professionalism in the main spheres of professional activity in the state. Second type. Elitist technocracy. The impetus for the development of such theories in the 20th century was given by Thorstein Veblen with his research and the organization of the Technocratic US Party, probably one of the largest in the early 30s. This is an attempt to come to political power one, two, sometimes more professionally oriented groups of specialists. In the case of Thorstein Veblen, these were managers and engineers. In the future, in technocratic concepts, the circle of specialists admitted to political power expanded. And finally, Daniel Bell said that the elite of the society should be representatives of the whole educated class, a class of professionals from all spheres of professional activity in the state. However, he deprived this elite of political power. In fact, all professionally oriented parties are elitist technocracy, agrarian and industrial parties, green and environmental parties, business parties, network and internet parties, technocratic parties obsessed with technicism, and etc. And also all political parties that offer politicians for the parliament. All technocratic elite parties unite one common defect. The legislative power will be represented by specialists professionally versed in one or two professional fields of activity, but ministries for spheres of professionally oriented activity in the state are significantly larger, and this elite technocracy appoints ministers and writes laws for them to execute. Third type, the general people's technocracy. This theory begins with Plato himself. He proposes separated popular elections. To do this, he divides the people into professionally oriented groups. According to ancient standards, there were only 3, and each would choose their leaders, the best professionals of their sphere of professional activity.